It's transformation time. As you can see, the REPU is... Wait. No, something is not quite right. Weird. Something is wrong here. What's up, everyone? Good morning. No, obviously, nothing is wrong. That's just the reason why there was not too much of a progress recently. Like, there was no video in the last week. Yeah, a friend of mine brought his project over. It's a Hiace, Toyota Hiace from 97, I believe. He's restoring it. He will be using it as a short camping trip, paragliding utility vehicle. I don't know how to call it. He's basically crazy about going to the mountains and yeah, paraglide. So he needed a car with space. So he bought this for cheap. He's restoring it. He will have a mantle built inside. It's completely empty right now, since they're just overhauling the outside. He wants to get it registered, just to have plates on it. He can move it. Then as soon as that is done, he will start working on the interior. So that's why he kind of moved it over here. The frame is in the inside. It's on the lift at the moment. It's still in the same shape and state, except that it has more dust on it, obviously. So what he did, he actually used the same paint that I used on the frame, Raptor. It's this stuff down here. He just had it mixed into a different color. He wanted to put it, and he will have like a mountain panorama scene here on the side. You can see the outlines of the mountains, at least at the moment. Yeah, so that is his little project that is ongoing. We have some progress on my side as well. So first and foremost, we have the rear axle back, sitting over here. Freshly sandblasted, galvanized, and primed. So it's black priming that is on there. I just picked it up yesterday, went a bit earlier from work and just had it picked up. The diff is still sitting there. We removed the rear, the connector here, because I wanted to sandblast it, but that basically goes into the problem I have right now. The sandblasting machine doesn't really work. Like, there's so little sand going through it. You're literally not getting any progress whatsoever. So I need to search for an option to do this. Don't know where I will find that right now. Also, the rear axles, we have the bearings removed, so they're just sitting here right now, still on the wheel hub. I need to remove those screws. We'll get them nicely. Yeah, like just have them sit in ethanol. E85. Speaking of E85, you can see the stuff over here. So those are all the bolts, or most of the bolts, that I will be needing for the front suspension. Just figuring out which parts I need new, which parts can still be used. So most of the stuff I can reuse, but the other problem is that in some cases I'm getting new hardware, in some cases I'm not getting new hardware with the new bearings and joints and whatsoever. So that it's a bit tricky. But whatever bolts are not usable anymore, like here, these plates, I don't think it's worthwhile kind of cleaning them up. The two up here are still nice. Those are shot. So I'll probably just order new ones. They're not super expensive, and just have them like from scratch. Here is my wheel studs from the front. They're all soaking in ethanol. Nicely trying to get rid of all the dirt and dust and fat and oil and whatever. Just get them cleaned up. And yeah, here are my brake shield, one of the brake shields. The other one can't find right now. So I tried to sandblast it. That's why you see some places where it's kind of already shinier, or actually silver instead of rust. Yeah, but there's so little coming through, it would take me forever to get them cleaned up. So I'm currently trying to figure out what I'm going to do. It might actually be a shorter day than expected, because if I can't sandblast them, I can't continue with the rear axle. On the front, I have a different problem. I'll show you over here. There's also the second shield. So basically, the upper control arms, they're together. I have the control arm in there. I have the first joint in there. So that worked perfectly fine. But for the lower, we still have our initial problem. We have here the control arm from the lower. It has this double ear over there. Yeah, so this one will probably still work on one side, but here is still that part where we went shenanigan. Yeah, so I want to try to reuse these, because I did find one seller on eBay that is selling them, but it's crazy expensive. Like the price for one of these, like $150. So that's like $300 plus $250 for the shipping. That's crazy. So yeah, I need to figure out what I'm gonna do. Hello everyone. So what did we do now? We have the transmission mount up again. That is sorted. But yeah, for the front, I need to get the bearings pressed in. I might be able to do that next Saturday in the morning, depending if yeah, should be okay. And for the rear, I need to get this thing sandblasted. Machine was broken, or not really working due to the humidity, so I need to figure out something there in order to continue. The good thing is we had the bolts out, the wheel bolts, without the new ones, so we just need to push them in. And then as soon as the shields are sandblasted, the only thing left to do is basically press in the new bearings and get the rear end back together. Right, so I guess I'll leave it at that for today. Good evening everyone, hope you're all doing well. Sunday evening, another successful day. So what have we done? The diff is open. We have we removed all the paint that was still on the closer, and it's now basically prepared to receive its diff again. The diff is over here. I did not go and sandblast it. I decided to go against it because I could hardly seal the upper part, and I didn't really want to remove the whole differential. It's still working, so I don't think the housing looks okay. I mean, I grinded it down a bit, I cleaned it up, so that should be okay. Can basically just go ahead and put them together. Once it's together, we will coat it in the same Raptor as we did the frame, so that will all look exactly the same. Also, the rear brake shields are freshly painted. I sandblasted them today. They're both freshly painted now. And just over there we have the hubs that go on top of them, basically where, yeah, they give the rigidity to them with all the brake going on. Yeah, so we're finishing up. My friend on his Hilux, he also has now the side windows in over here, nice and dark, and he started on the inside to isolate it, because he will be sleeping in there, and obviously to make sure not all the heat is leaving, he's doing some isolation in there, which is a good thing. And he will basically then also coat the rear axle with the Raptor, because he's going to paint a landscape on his side as well. Next steps at this point, I'll be going to a friend on Wednesday. We will, at least on the front, we will press in the bearings. So the front should more or less be ready. The only thing missing really is this control bar here in between. But said friend over here, he will have a look on Monday, see if he can figure out what threading we're using, or these things are using original, and he will attempt to recut it. If it doesn't work, I will have to jump the gun and order 2 new ones from Rare Parts, I think they're called in the US, a company. They have them, super expensive, like $150 one, I need 2. And the shipping to Switzerland was like ridiculous, like $250 or something. It's a ridiculous amount. I can get them a bit cheaper through my USPS, my whatever, like a shipping company, shipping service. So I get them a bit cheaper, but still, it's a lot of money that needs to be spent on these bloody control arms. Yeah, we're finishing up, heading back home afterwards. So I would say see you guys next week. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.